Hi, this is Diane with Bolan-Beaty Boogie. This week on the show, Marc and Spirit would like to talk to us about our connection to our spirit selves, our intuition, and our emotions, and what we can do if we feel we've lost that connection. So I think it's a really interesting show. And for those who might be saying, oh, self-help, and maybe you're not into that, but please bear with us, because I was thinking back when I started doing energy work. I would go to some teachers and say, okay, well, this is what I want to do. I wanted to be able to connect to spirit. I wanted to be able to give readings to people. And they said, well, okay, first you're going to have to start meditating, because I'm not a sedentary person. I like to be moving around, and my mind is always whirling with whatever is whirling in there. And they just kept looking at my energy saying, you've got to quiet that down. Because, and it's true, spirit energy is very subtle. It's very subtle. Marc's energy is very subtle. And so in order to access that, you really have to quiet the mind and just get in a different space in order to access that. And I fought that for a while. I really did, because the idea of meditating just seems so boring to me. And I still kind of fight it once in a while. I'm not a person who naturally meditates. But then another teacher explained to me, well, meditation, I thought it was just kind of sitting there and doing nothing. And I said, well, that's so boring. But then they explained, well, no, it's not that. You do have things to do, and you do have energy to look at. And so when I started learning about how to go about meditating, it wasn't so bad for me. And I'm not one, again, who would sit there for hours doing it. Pretty much, I clean my energy every day. I speak with Marc. I have certain things that I go through. I check in with my guides. And so I do that every day, but I don't meditate for hours and hours and hours. So anyway, the point of that is, if you're somebody who thinks, oh, I don't have time, I don't want to do it, just maybe listen to Marc and his guest on the show today and see if what they're suggesting might be something you would be interested in doing, because I think the subject matter is important right now, because many of us might be feeling, and I know I am, just feeling, what is going on in the world. But knowing that you have a strong connection to who you are, and you have that support system of those around you and spirit, it just really helps to feel like you're not alone. So I hope you enjoy the show today. Again, we have a website, www.channelingmarc.com. There's a lot of information on there from Marc and Spirit, so take a look if you get a chance. Oh, yeah. Hello. Hello, I'm here. I made it. Okay. Hello, everyone. This is Marc. Yep. You may know me as Marc Bolan from the rock band T-Rex. My usual introduction here. Right. Okay, yeah. So today on the show, we're going to talk about meeting your spirit self. And and trusting your intuition. Okay. And yeah. So is that an exciting topic? Well, I think it is. Okay. And we will put forth some reasons why. Okay. So I've got my friends here in the studio with me, and we've got some guests coming, right? Some experts to talk about this subject matter with us. I want to bring that up. Okay, I want to bring that up. I talked about this on the last show, okay, about being creative, about letting yourself go, about doing fun things, okay? And I'm looking at the energy, we in spirit are looking at the energy of the earth, okay? And not looking extremely buoyant, happy, carefree, and we understand the reasons for this, okay? But during, we just want to mention, during times like this, it's very, 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 very important to change that energy around, okay? If you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling depressed, if you're feeling that things outside of yourself are in chaos, it's very, very, very important, okay? And I know, yeah, this sounds like something you would think, well, yeah, but it's hard also. It's hard. And yeah, Diane's finding this as well, to to remove yourself up, from it for a while, okay? And to just say, okay, well, I have me. I love myself, and I really need to take care of myself, right? So I'm going to, and it's not distraction. It's not distraction by any means. It is, well, yeah, it's caring. It's very, very much self-caring about yourself, and to go out and have some fun. Okay, go see a movie. Go out and have a wonderful dinner with friends. Okay, and some people, and we're seeing this as well. Sometimes it's even hard to get to prop yourself up in order to even do that, right? And so it might take some more effort. It might take some more effort, but it's going to be worth it. Okay, it's going to be worth it, because what's happening around you is it's forever changing, right? It's not stagnant, right? So if that helps, it's going to be changing in different directions. Now you may feel it's changing in less positive than you would like, or it might be the opposite. It may be going in the direction that you like. But whatever the case, it's never, 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 including your own life, standing still. Even though it might feel like it, okay? It might feel like it. So it's just really, that's what we want to say. It's really, 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 really important. Okay, yeah, and there's always my music to listen to. And I'm not saying that to be, any type of ego issue here or anything, but I am just offering my music. If you are a fan of my music, to just play my music really loud, play it, dance around to it, okay? Because I do catch this, I do see this energy, and I would like to actually join you, because that's why I created my music, okay? Okay, so let's talk about this topic, okay? And we got some guests coming on the show. Okay, yep. Okay, so So. Especially, well, all of you are accessing more of your spirit self, whether you realize it or not. Okay, you are, okay? Because, because the frequency is changing, higher frequency all around. Again, that might not seem the case, but change often brings about, this lower energy we've talked about before. Some lower frequency energies are comfortable where they are. Right? Comfortable where they are, and they want to stay that way. Okay, so they're going to do whatever they can to oppress ones who want to raise their frequency, right? Because that's where they feel the most comfortable, right? And we've talked about the energy majority, okay? But energy majority doesn't have to necessarily mean numbers, okay? It's the frequency, it's the power of whatever force is holding the majority at the time, okay? And but it is in an area, and it is in an energy field, okay? Okay, so all of you are raising your frequency, okay? Whether you understand or realize it or not, okay? Because that's just where the planet's going. Okay. Well, yeah. Is it spinning in an opposite direction? No. Is it going back in? No. Okay, so having said that, right? What, is the guest here? Okay. Oh, I gotta hurry. The guest is coming. Okay. Okay. Yes. So let's look at this. Okay. And we do have a guest coming. Are they here? Okay, they're here. Okay. I will introduce them soon. So how do you go about, let's say the majority of you are saying, okay, well, I think, I have a spirit, I have a soul, I know that. But it seems maybe something not within reach, okay, or something that is separate from yourself, right? It could feel like that. And there could be a disconnect there, right? That means there's a disconnect, right? If you don't feel, in general, that your spirit, your soul is part of who you are in this physical realm, then yeah, well, there's a disconnect, okay, because you're all the same. You're all one. You're all one. Yeah. So we just want to talk about that, okay? How can you find that connection again? And yeah, and the second part is going to be trusting your intuition, okay? So let's have the guests come in. Where? Here you are. Here you are. Okay, thank you very much for coming. Yeah. Now you're showing me a certificate, right? So you have some type of degree. Yeah, I know who you are, but I'm pretending I don't for what would you call it? Well, for other purposes to show suspense. Okay, so yes, you are showing me a certificate. You are a doctor. Okay, now can there be spirit doctors? Of course there can be. Okay, it might not hold. Well, no, but there is authority. Not authority. No, not authority. But there is specialized. Well, yeah, those who just like on Earth. They have specialized degrees, specialized knowledge, and I guess you could say it would be an authority in a certain sense, but not a power authority, but authority over some knowledge, if you want to put it that way. It's not my favorite word. It's not my favorite word, okay? Okay, so yes, so I will call you doctor. Okay, doctor. Doctor of soul connections, okay? Doctor of Soul, DSC. You are a DSC, Doctor of Soul Connections. Okay. Yeah. So I will just call you Doctor. Okay. Yeah. Should I describe? Well, no, it doesn't really matter. I think what you look like. Okay. Yeah. So yes, I've met you. Yeah. You are a friend of David's. You work with David. My friend David Bowie. David knows pretty much everybody. He's that type of guy, and he has a lot of connections, and he does so many different projects, communication shows that eventually, you meet everybody. Okay, so thank you, doctor, for coming to the show. Now, this is a very complex, very complicated subject, right? So we would, but we don't have a lot of time. So could you please just describe maybe a little bit what you do and why I asked you on the show, okay? So he's going to, no, you don't speak English. So I'm going to have to translate. So if I make some mistakes or get slowed down, just please, bear with us. Bear with me. Okay. Yep. Okay, doctor. Yep. Okay, so he is saying, if you don't feel you have that connection to your soul, if you feel, or you don't even think about it, he suggests it's a good time to start. It's a good time to start, okay? Because, okay, so it's a connection, okay? So if you feel a connection to your soul, to your spirit, that's a connection from whence you came. Right. So yes, you are a spirit currently having a physical incarnation, okay, on the earth. Everyone knows that. Well, pretty much everyone knows that, okay? And yeah, if you feel like you are not connected, then there has been some disconnect, as I said. Now, where this happened, you could look into that. If you want to. It's not, is that necessary, doctor? Well, okay, so he's saying it is important, okay? It is important. Maybe not necessarily on the show is what I meant. Right. Okay, so he's saying it is important because there must have been some event or some type of process that disconnected you from that. Now, okay, now I have a question. Could it be necessarily, because yes, when you come down to and he's going to talk about this because I know what he's thinking. Okay, when you come down to a physical life, you tend to forget any past lives. You do kind of you don't disconnect from your soul self, but maybe you've chosen not to remember your spirit life in order to focus on the physical. Right. So what do you say about that? Okay. Yeah, he's saying that can be true, obviously, but your inner self, your soul self, your intuition self, your heart chakra, it's all connected, okay, to your soul. Yeah, all of it. So if you feel a disconnect, And okay, can you answer me this? How do you know if you have that disconnect? Okay. Okay, so yeah. So he say again, this is an inner feeling. Okay. Now, so yeah, inner feeling that knows for certain that you have a higher wisdom than, yes, not high, well, yeah, there is a higher wisdom, but also wisdom that you may feel you don't possess, or you may not know that you access, or it's if you tune into the spirit realms, or a higher frequency, or something beyond yourself. Let's say it could even be the universe, and you feel like you can't access it. If you feel you don't have the power to, if you feel you don't have the right to, if you feel you don't have the knowledge base, okay, because this isn't based on knowledge. Okay, so he's saying if you're saying any of that to yourself, if you're feeling any of that, then that's showing that there's somewhat a disconnect, because we all have access to all of spirit. You have access to your spirit self. You have access to the universe. So if there's anything in your space, in yourself, that is saying I don't, then look. Then look, okay? If you want to change that, you can change that. Okay, great, thank you. Okay, so how can you go about changing that? Oh, no, let's go back to, is it important about where this disconnect might have happened? So he said it is. And it could be not just one particular spot in your lifetime, or it could be, yeah, and it could be outside influences that have changed your feelings or your knowledge about yourself. Okay, and so if you wanted, yeah, I mean, you can maybe go to, if you don't feel you can access that information, you could go to a trusted medium, or some, yeah, or ask your guides. Meditation is probably going to be wanted at that point. So it's up to you what method. He's saying what? Yeah. He's saying it could be, it is important, but whether or not you really go back or whatever and find out is up to you, because it's going to be a pivotal moment, or time frame, or a series of events that has changed this knowledge about yourself. Okay, so it is important. Okay, so there's that. Okay, yeah. And hold on. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so let's say you're thinking, I hear a lot about this. I hear I've got this, I've got a soul, I've got, yeah, but I don't, yeah. Right. Oh, yes. So he's saying there could be a pivotal point where you've actually given that over to someone or something else. Okay, so let's say you're saying, well, I don't have access to this type of information, but I know an organization, a religion, another person who can access that for me. I can't do it, but they say they can, and I trust that they can. Okay, so that might be another time when you have said, okay, well, I don't have it, but it is basically giving over the power that you have over to another, someone else or an organization. So so he's saying it doesn't matter what religion you might be or what beliefs you might have. You always, this is part of who you are. So no one can take that away from you unless you give it to them. Okay. So he's saying, if you can remember when that happened, then it might be easier to say, okay, well, yeah, I remember saying that. Or somebody told me that, and then I believed it. Somebody said that you don't have access to this type of information, or this frequency, or this being, or the universe, so, and you agreed. So if you can pinpoint that, then you could say, okay, well, I'm taking back my power in this thought, or this information about myself. I know that I do have it. So that would be one way of doing it. Okay, is there another way? Okay. Let's say you can't really pinpoint it. Then what could you do? Okay, so he's saying you don't have to pinpoint it. It's important to, he's saying it's important because it might give you more information about yourself. and the power maybe that you gave over to someone else or some organization. Okay, so that would give you insight into who you are, and that would allow you to make a decision. Right. But he's saying if you don't remember, if you're just like, well, I still don't feel like I have access to this information or who I am in spirit, and well, you can just start from where you are. Start from where you are. That's all you can do. Yeah, usually is just start from where you are and say, okay, well, I don't know where I gave this, when or where I gave my power over about myself, or the knowledge that I have about myself, or the connection I have to my spirit self. But I can change that now. I can change that now. So you could just set the intention to change it. So it can be as easy as that. Now, okay, yeah, but he's saying be careful, or watch, not be careful, but just watch, observe. How do you feel when you say that? Does it still feel uncomfortable? Does it still feel uncomfortable if you're saying, okay, well, I have a spirit self. This spirit self is part of who I am. I can access knowledge from my spirit self about me. And he's saying what is also good, and I agree with this, is that it's knowing that you have part of yourself in spirit, your home, who is also there with you. So it is a partnership. It is a partnership. It can be very comforting to know that you're not here, or you're not in, if you don't connect with guides, it's just very nice to know that there is another part of yourself that you can access and get information from, right? Because this knowledge is going to be specific to you, and no one else has to know it. No one so it's something, it is kind of like having another self, but this spirit self is different than who you are. But they still know everything about you. Your spirit self so your spirit self knows how powerful a being, a spirit you are. And you can always access if that's something else that you feel that you've lost, right? So you can connect and gain that, or not gain, but maybe revisit that power. And it's not a power in the sense of course, authority. It's the power that you feel within yourself, knowing that you are, a high frequency, wonderful, creative spirit. Okay. Okay. So let's hold on. Is somebody else coming in? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, we've got another guest coming in who's going to speak with us about the other topic on the show today. Okay, so doctor, did you have anything else that you wanted to say? Okay, yeah. So he just wants to talk a little bit about feeling comfortable accessing that part of yourself. Now, if you don't have a connection with your guides, you can ask. You can still ask, because they will help you. They will help you say, okay, I want to not revisit necessarily, but meet my spirit self again. So, okay, So you can ask them to come and set up a meeting with yourself, okay, your spirit self. And I think we've talked about this on the show. You can do it in very elaborate ways. You can do a pageant. You could do, or you can just picture. You can picture, you can use your imagination, or you could just, so you could picture what your spirit self looks like, okay? It could look like you, okay? It could look like the human you, if that makes you more comfortable. It could be a ball of energy. It could be different colors. It could be multiple colors. It could be any form that you choose, okay? Just set the intention that you want to meet with your spirit self, okay? And then see what you get. See what you show yourself. This will be you showing it to yourself. Okay. So then look and see what happens, and no judgment. And if something comes up that you're saying, oh, just work through that. Just let that go. Okay. Let that go. Okay. And then see what happens. And even if you've never done anything like this before, this is one of the easiest connections to get back. Okay. Because you are connected. So it's just basically opening up to seeing it again. Okay, so let's say you see yourself, if you want to see yourself as who you are as a human being in spirit. You might see some auras, you might see some lights around you. Yeah, just don't question it. Just go with the flow, so to speak. Right? Right? Is that, yeah? That's a term. Okay, go with the flow. Right? 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 Okay. And then see. Okay, are you smiling? Look at. Yeah. React to this image. Okay. Are you smiling? Are you frowning? Are you doing nothing? Okay. Are you dancing? Are you doing something else? Are you painting? Are you reading a book? Okay. So are you doing anything like that? That's important. That's important. Okay. Or do you see, yeah, do you see a line of maybe energy connecting you both? Maybe from your heart chakras, maybe from your heart. Look and see what you pick up. Okay. And then ask, yeah, and just talk to yourself, talk to your spirit self. Open up the communication lines again. Okay. And as you do that, that communication line, the energy between you, which you can see as a line of energy, as a cord of energy, so to speak, it will grow. It will grow. And your connection will get larger and larger, bigger and bigger. Right, 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 right. Okay, yeah, so you could say, okay, well, spirit self, I see you. And you don't even have to see anything. You can just feel it. You can just feel that energy, okay? If you don't see things visually very often, you can just feel that energy. And then say, okay, well, it's nice to meet you again. I'm Mark. And I really want to get to know you again. I think we lost a connection somewhere. And I'd really like to get it back, okay? So will you work with me on that? I am open to doing this. And yeah. And then you could, you can ask them to come, or you can ask your spirit self to come a little closer if you like, okay? And then just keep reading what you're getting. Do you feel apprehensive? Do you feel, yeah, and if you do, if it's a little scary for you, then ask your guides to come help you with that. You could cover the space that you're working in with a high frequency gold light, gold light. Yeah, or whatever feels calming and, yeah, calming to you, okay? Yep. Okay, yeah, so do that and practice it. Yeah, practice it, okay? Maybe before you go to sleep at night or when you wake up in the morning, just connect with your spirit self, okay? And you will find that you're accessing information that maybe you didn't get before. You will feel maybe in situations that are confusing that there's a calming influence or some ideas coming that will help you, because that's the connection that you have with your spirit. Okay. Thank you, doctor. Thank you. Okay. Yes. Our other guest is, yeah, you've arrived. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So you are showing as, yeah, a female. Yeah. You have, okay, so you're, what? Yeah, you're saying that you would like me to describe your appearance. The doctor didn't care so much. Okay, so yes, you have long. Your hair is as long as your body that you're showing me. It does, yeah, you do, well, no, you don't look, you look pseudo-human, but also I'm getting an air of, not really mermaid, but yeah, something like that. Okay, mythical, a mythical. Yes. That's it. Yeah, a mythical being. Yeah. Yeah. Well, okay, you're showing more mythical now. So you're more ocean. Yeah, that type of. Okay, but you're not necessarily from an Earth type of. Yeah. Okay. So yes, do you want to give me a name? Hold on. Yeah, it's one of those names that is not, there's no English for that. Okay, so I will just call it, wait, do you want to access something? Okay, so you're saying, begins with a, yeah, something like an H, okay, hi, no. Okay, well, it's something more like, no, it's not going to equate to English. It begins with an H, not Hester, not Heather. It's something close to that. Okay, so she's saying that's okay. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't translate. Okay, so yes, so you are an expert. You are not an expert necessarily, you're saying, but you are a connector to intuition. Okay, and you're saying intuition and emotions. You're kind of saying both. Okay, so you are somebody who is specialized in connections with yeah, with intuition and what? Yeah, emotions, but it's more the inner being of yourself, okay, of who you are. Emotions, heart chakra energy. Well, you have a lot of different, obviously, emotions, okay? And yeah, you're saying now, yeah, when your spirit self is very emotional, there's not fact-based energy really in spirit. Yeah, no. Yeah, that's more related to the human brain, right? You can live a life, a physical life that involved a lot of facts. But when you get back to spirit, it's not going to be as relevant. It's not going to be as relevant. You're going to be operating on a different plateau. You're saying a different energy panel, so to speak. It's not going to be as relevant to you. Okay, so that's why, yeah, they're saying you're saying when you connect to spirit, you might not find a lot of facts coming through. You might not find, you might be more apt to get information about emotions or feelings. Okay, and that is why. Yeah, well, you're in spirit, it's a higher frequency. So that makes that, yeah, that's where that's going to be. Okay, so let's say we have somebody, a viewer here, or one of us, who maybe has lost their connection with their emotions or their intuition. And that could be what? How could that have happened? Okay, what? Same, trust. Okay, trust in yourself, trust in who you are. Yeah. So when you come down from spirit, okay, so she's saying, unless for some reason a spirit has come into the physical form and has said, I want to just disconnect from my my spirit self, my intuition, which she's saying that would be not very common thing, because your intuition is basically your connection to your spirit self. Okay, so it's there. Now, for some reason, she's saying if somebody decides to do that, but that case would be very rare and would not really be, what would you say? Well, it would be not probably, yeah, not probably, maybe not frowned upon necessarily, but not advised, okay, from your advisors in spirit. So she is saying it's a trust issue, and it's also what? Yeah, it's a trust issue. So you have to regain that trust in yourself and who you are. Okay, so if you're saying I don't have any intuition, most people feel they have some form of intuition, though, right? Most people feel they have something, okay, because something has happened to you throughout your life that has led you to understand that and to reconnect to it if you have lost it, right? And yeah, so let's say you kind of feel like you have an intuition. Yeah, you kind of feel that you often connect to maybe something outside the physical realms, or you kind of have the sense of, I really don't think I should do this, or I get the sense that this would be great for me. Maybe I should take a chance. Okay. And so, yeah, but she's saying a lot of people in the physical disconnect from that. And again, it could be very similar circumstances where somebody is in an authoritative position over you. It could be a parent, it could be a teacher, it could be anybody, an employer or something like that, who is maybe day after day just saying, disparaging things about you, or that your worth is not this or that or something like that. So it can't, the trust in yourself, the trust in who you are, the power that you hold as an individual can really take a beating. It can take a beating. And at some point you might just say, well, I give up. It's too much. It's too much. And I'm just going to go along with what they're saying. Okay. But she is saying the same thing. Your intuition is there. Okay. Your intuition is able to work with you. There's no one, or no one or nothing can take that away from you. Okay, so she's saying if you that connection to yourself in spirit, but we do kind of term it intuition, because that's a term or a word that has intonations, it has meaning, because everyone's heard it. Okay, so in order to, can you offer some suggestions here? Yeah, I know time's running out, but I just want to, So she's saying it's very similar, okay, to the connection to your spirit self, but it's also a trust issue, okay? Trusting that you have the intuition, you are accessing your intuition, you are, right, and she's saying there's nothing wrong if you say, okay, well, I really feel this, but something still feels wrong about it. You know, work through that. Or if there's something that's saying, or, you know, I really feel that this is going to be a good thing for me, okay? And maybe it turns out not to be a good thing. And maybe you lose trust in yourself after that. Maybe you say, well, I tried it, I trusted my instincts, I trusted my intuition, and it didn't turn out well for me. And so she's saying, well, but you have to, do we want to say realize? Maybe look at, that's a better form. Maybe look at the fact that you did this in order to have more knowledge about something, okay? Maybe it didn't work out, but maybe you had to try that in order to cross that off a list of some sort. Maybe you thought that this was going to be something great for you to do, a job to take, an avenue, a place to move to or something, and it didn't really turn out the way you thought. Okay, but that's also, so there are also expectations involved sometimes, right? And expectations, well, we could do a whole show on expectations, right? Yeah. Expectations are, so what I'm saying about expectations is, no, there's a difference between expectations, I believe, okay, expectations and really maybe having something that you want, okay, whether it's a degree, it's a house, but expectations tend to limit you sometimes, right? So if you have an expectation, let's say, let's say you have an expectation to get a certain job. Okay, let's just do something simple like that. You have an expectation to get a certain job at a certain company, at a certain position. Okay, so you've really, really, really narrowed your possibilities, right? Let's say that you spend all of your time, all of your effort in just obtaining those three things from that one company. Okay, and so you could be not looking at other possibilities in your life. Now, I know this is a very simplified, but this could pertain to anything in your life, okay? So expectations, are somewhat limiting. At least that's, what do you think? What do you think about that? She's saying they can be, okay? So it's better, what do you think? Not better or worse, but maybe be open to unlimited possibilities for yourself, okay? Just set that out there. Just send that out. Send that energy out, right? Right. You are asking for unlimited high frequency possibilities for all aspects of yourself in your life, right? Yep. Try that and see what comes back. See what comes back instead. It could be something that you weren't expecting. It could be something, and then you find out that it worked out better for you anyway, right? So so that's a way that you can regain or trust in your intuition, right? Right. Okay, anything else? How about emotions? Okay, she's saying emotions like, she's saying a lot of people have learned to turn off your emotions, okay? Your emotions are a physical way of showing who you are, okay? Whether or not it's crying, laughing, it's a physical expression of that, right? Right. And many people have been told that they're not a good thing. It's not good to cry. It's not good to be happy. It's not good to show excess emotions. It's not good to, all of this. Okay. So that, again, that's something, if you're finding that, okay, it's not good to cry. What? Men don't cry. Ridiculous stuff like that. Men shouldn't get emotional. Men shouldn't show blah, blah. Yeah. Yeah. So if you have that in your space, okay, be aware that's not who you are in spirit. Okay. And so you might, yeah, you can take a look at that and say, well, who told me that? Who told me that? Okay. And do I want that still? Do I want that? Do I want to not be able to show who I am as an emotional being? Laughing, crying, they are a great release of tension, a release of feelings, a release of something that you maybe not, yeah, exactly. So it's a release of emotions that you may not even have words for, okay? Right. So yes, an expression. So you are a creative being and you wish to express yourself. Okay, so who told me that that was wrong, right? So look at that. Look at that as a possibility. Okay, thank you very much for coming. I'm sorry I didn't get your name. Okay, she's saying that's not important. Thank you very much. Okay. Yeah. I think the time's about up for me. Yep. Okay. Then I will say goodnight. Or it's not night. No. I will say good day. Good day, and yeah. Next week, maybe next week. Okay. Check back with us. And thank you for watching the Bolan-Beaty Boogie show. Okay.